Some don't like gypsies, but I've never had any trouble with this lot.
Do they come to you often, Mr. Gilling?
Aye, every summer and winter. I let him have a corner of the meadow down by the beck. We were born down there in July. Hello, Jess. Hello, Mr. Gilling.
Hello, Mr. White.
Hello. Usual place?
Aye. You'll find it a bit muddy, I'm afraid.
This'll manage.
Come on.
Hello, Margie.
Winter must be pretty harsh for them.
It's their life, and they wouldn't say thank you for a cottage. Besides, Christmas brings them a bit of business.
Does it?
Aye, one way or another. And there's always my old orchard, nigh on 90 years old. No good for fruit. But mistletoe, you've never seen anything like it, Mr. Elliot. It's even spreading onto the oak trees now. I let him have the lot, and they peddle it from door to door.
Well, it must bring him in a few bob.
I reckon it does.
Well, I better be off.
Aye, well, thanks for looking in, Mr. Elliot.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And if those flakes don't clear up in a couple of days, you'll let me know, eh?
Oh, aye.
Little beggars, they get earlier every year. Soon be starting before we put the clocks back. It's a wonderful time of year. I love Christmas. My boys. Just, you got, half a crown?
Think so. Why?
There, they always get it wrong. It's not merry, gentlemen. It's God rest you merry, gentlemen. Let nothing you do, not that it matters. Pay him off, just
What?
give him half a crown.
You're out of your mind, Siegfried. That's only 4 pints of bitter.
My dear boy, this is a season of goodwill. No earthly call to be niggardly.
Yes, but half a crown. I mean, that's asking for trouble.
Trouble?
Just means if we're over generous now, the world's going to get round and we'll be besieged, right?
Absolutely. We'll have every kid screeching on our doorstep for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, I see. There's some sense in that. James, what have you got there?
A bob?
Yes, there's plenty. I can do without shepherds and their flocks. All right.
Now, Tris, catch.
See him off. He's a good fella. Now then, Helen. How about a glass of sherry?
Oh, what a lovely idea. Thank
James.
you, Siegfried.
Whiskey, please, Siegfried. Thanks.
Now, I am determined to make this Christmas a very special occasion.
Oh, but it's always a special occasion, Siegfried.
Oh, well, yes, of course, in that sense, true, Helen, but I intend to make this a Christmas we shall all remember. I'm neither a politician nor a Jeremiah, but the way things are going in Europe, I believe that a year hence, we may not all find ourselves in this cosy situation. And this year, barring accidents, we shall all be together, so we better make the most of it.
6 would have done.
Help yourself to a drink, Tristan. Now, the great thing to do is to make plans. We must make great plans.
A real Yorkshire Christmas with all the trimmings, eh?
Yeah. Here's to our Christmas.
Us and Christmas.
Christmas.
Yes. Alas, poor Yorick.
What on earth have you got there?
You're only a vet, James, so you wouldn't know. It's a human skull.
Really? How very interesting. Where'd you get hold of it?
Oh, it's ancient history. In my youth, I shared digs with an Irish medical student. One day, I'd had a lucky win at toaster. On the very same evening, he borrowed £5 from me and ran away with the landlady's daughter. I hadn't an inkling of his plans, but he left a note behind saying I was to hang on to the skeleton as a surety against his loan.
How decent of him. Pretty set your teeth. What sex?
Female. A young woman in her 20s, I think.
Is she all there?
Oh, yes, every last bone, all beautifully wired together. Only the head's become detached. Honestly, James, the rubbish one accumulates. What on earth am I to do with her?
Do with it?
Well, she's just taking up room in the cupboard under the stairs.
Well, you could ask the vicar to give her a decent funeral.
Well, costly business, James. Besides, nobody knows. She might have been a Muslim or a Hindu or anything. On the other hand, it's a bit discourteous just to shove her in the dustbin. Might upset Mrs. Hall.
Not to mention the dustman.
Well, yes, precisely. I mean, we don't want the local bobby asking silly questions over the festive season.
Yeah.
Now, come on, James, give me your advice. What shall I do?
Well, she hasn't been any trouble so far. I didn't even know she was there. So she's not taking up any space. I put her back where she was.
Sensible as always, James. She hasn't, and I don't, so that's precisely what we'll do with that. Do you mind giving me a hand?
Yes.
There we are. It always puts one in mind about Sidney Smith, doesn't it, James?
What's that?
When some woman complained to him about the heat, he said, what was it?
What?
Heat, ma'am! It's been so dreadful here, I found there was nothing for it but to take off my flesh and sit in my bones. You'll have to come out, I'll do it.
Yes, nice. Thanks.
There you go. Intrude. Sorry you've been troubled. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to telephone the plumber.
Huh?
Mrs. Hall's got a leaky tap. Needs a new washer. Oh, look out, you idiot! Come here,
Apologies, I'm sure.
Where's the telephone book? Here we are.
Speaking of Mrs. Pumphrey, James, you seen her lately?
Do you know what a non-secretary is?
Yes. Well, not offhand. Why?
Well, you and your brother seem to be having a spot of trouble.
How do you mean?
I haven't seen Mrs. Pumphrey.
Well, don't you think it's time you did?
No, what for?
Well, simple social call, Uncle Harriet. Flitted through my mind. You take presents, of course. A couple of turnips for Nugent, box of Turkish delight for Tricky Wool. You can even add a little something to upset their tummies.
Tristan.
Yes, James?
I know exactly what you've got in mind.
Well, I have to admit, James, it is some time since we've had one of those gratitude hampers and Fortnums. And the last one, well, don't think I'm complaining. I mean, it was very thoughtful of Mrs. P, but both Siegfried and I agreed that one or two of our favourite delicacies were missing.
If Mrs. Pumphrey chooses to acknowledge my remarkable veterinary skills in the way she sometimes does, well, that's fine. But I'm not going to start poisoning her pets in order to achieve the same ends.
Well, if that's your attitude, there's no more to be said, is there?
No.
Yes?
Quick, we've got an urgent call, out of the way.
Huh? Where to?
Hewison's place, he's got a horse cast in its stall.
Oh, fine. What's all the excitement?
Always a bonus this time of year getting a call at Hewison's place to have a Christmas cake.
Will there?
Yeah. Your poor old ignoramus, Mrs. Hewison's one of the greatest bakers in the Dales. But for weeks now, she's been stirring up fruit and candied peel and butter and all the rest of it. Our cakes are famous in the district.
Shall I bring the car round?
No, you stay here. Just because things are a bit quiet doesn't mean so we can leave the post unmanned.
Typical.
Now, don't take that tone. Make yourself useful. Get the tackle in the car. Go on. The thing is, you see, James, that Mrs. Hewison likes to receive the accolade from an expert. And although Hewison regards me as quite a passable animal doctor, for some reason, Mrs. Hewison thinks that I'm an absolute top expert as far as our cakes are concerned. Now, you mark my words. As soon as we've hoisted that horse, you'll be invited in for a spot of cake tasting. All right, James, there she is. So, take the block and tackle down, will you, please? Thank you. That's it. I don't think there's any damage done, Mr. Hewison.
Ah, right. Then, come in and have a whiskey and bit of cake.
With great pleasure. I'll just walk around the yard first, make absolutely sure.
All right.
On a girl.
Can I give you a hand?
Thank you, Mr. Hewson. Just...
Right. I've got it.
Nice other one?
Right.
That's splendid, thank you.
I knows, young man, my missus is never content till your governor's had a bit of her cake.
Come and see for yourself, Mr. Harriet.
By Jove, Mrs. Hewson, that's a sight for sore eyes.
They do look pretty, though I say it myself.
Well, which one are you going to cut?
This one. There's a reason, Mr. Harriet.
Oh?
It's not me own cake. It's one my sister baked. But I'm not telling Mr. Farnan. We'll see what he says.
Well, is that quite fair? I mean, surely you ought to tell him.
No, I want his true judgment. So we'll say nought about it.
Ah, here it comes. Sit down yonder, Mr. Harriet. Pull out the chair with him, Harry.
Thank you, Maury.
Good health.
Pass Mr. Farnham's plate, Maureen. There, Mr. Farnham. I'd like to know what you think of cake this year.
Now, before I pronounce judgment, I shall drink the health of the Hewison family. James, you'll join me? A very Merry Christmas to you all, and a happy and very prosperous New Year.
Hear, hear.
That's very good of you, I'm sure. Now, what about the verdict, Mr. Farnham?
This is not to be hurried, Mr. Hewison. Mrs. Hewison, this is a good cake. It's a very good cake indeed. But if you'll permit me, I'm bound to say it's not up to your usual standard.
Oh, what a wonderful man.
Aye, a very Solomon among cake tasters. Yep, Maureen, pass the glasses. That's worth another one. Mr. Barry. Thank you. There we are.
You really mean you didn't have the slightest inkling?
Why should I have?
Well, all I can say is I take my hat off to you, Siegfried.
Huh?
Well, your position in the household was already exalted. Now it's impregnable.
I like that. Very nicely put, James. Of course, the compliment's not undeserved. I am an excellent judge of cakes.
Hey!
What's the matter now?
Well, this isn't the way home.
No, I thought we'd make a slight detour, visit Mrs. Pumphrey.
Mrs. Pumphrey?
That's why not. We haven't seen much of her lately. Go and pay her a call.
I see.
And while Hewison's whiskey's perfectly reasonable stuff, it did cross my mind, James. There's nothing like a wee chap at malts.
Tristan, you maniac! You're not fit to be on the road!
I'm not on the road. You got my message, son?
What message?
You mean you haven't been home?
No.
Well, thank God you're here anyway. It's tricky Moo Siegfried is very ill. I think he's dying. Mrs. Pumphrey's having hysteria all over the house.
You hear that, James? Perhaps it's the hand of fate.
I can't bear it. I can't bear it. My poor darling Tricky.
Now, you must try and be brave, Mrs. Humphrey. Uncle Harriet and my brother are doing all they can. Look, try and sip some of this.
Thank
Normal. So at least it's not leptospiral.
Well, surely you didn't think it would be, did you?
A remote possibility.
I should have thought the chances of Tricky being bitten by a water rat or drinking the creature's urine were, to say the least, remote.
A lovely colour. I was always afraid you might end up doing this to him. Sorry, old chap. You may feel this just a bit. Hold tight. Sorry, Tricky. Has he been vomiting much, Mrs. Pumphrey?
Yes, he can't keep anything down.
Diarrhea?
Yes, that too. Mr. Harriet, I know I'm only a foolish old woman, but you must tell me the truth. I'm going to lose my baby, aren't I?
No, not necessarily. But Tricky's a very sick little dog. He's got the yellows.
The yellows? Do you mean yellow fever?
No, nothing quite as dramatic as that, Mrs. Pumphrey. I mean jaundice.
Well, that's not so very serious, surely. People often get it. A cousin of mine, when he was in the army, had it when he came back from India. I know he wasn't allowed to touch alcohol for 6 months, and that made him very bad-tempered, but he recovered completely.
Oh, I don't doubt it for a moment. But on the other hand, with a very small dog of Tricky's age, it can be a very serious illness.
You mean there's no hope at all then?
Well, if it was infective jaundice, I don't think I would, no. But it isn't. Now, I'd say he has a very good chance, but only if he gets proper care and attention for the next few days.
If you could only move in here, Mr. Harriet.
I'm afraid that wouldn't be possible, Mrs. Pumphrey. You see, we can't spare James from the practice. But it would be an excellent idea if you let us take Tricky back to Skelldale. We could keep an eye on him all the time then.
Oh, but the thought of separation. Oh.
Very painful, I know. But we haven't got a miracle drug for his condition, Mrs. Pumphrey. And it's not so much that he needs medicines as some continuous supportive nursing, and we could give him that, do you see?
I see. Yes, of course. You're all so kind, so very wise. The 3 wise men, in fact. Yes. He must go with you. You hear that, darling? Uncle Harriet and dear Dr. Farnan are going to take you with them to their lovely hospital at Skelldale. You'll soon be well, little doggy kids.
Oh, well, little doggy kids. Oh, what can one do about a woman like that? She's the very soul of generosity, and yet she has this one fearful vice. She simply will not stop herself stuffing little doggy kids with cream cakes, caramels, camembert. Talk about force-feeding geese to enlarge their livers.
That's not a bad analogy.
It's true.
Oh, hello, nurse. How's patient?
A little better, I think.
Oh, good.
Admire your optimism, my dear, but I'm not quite so sanguine about his chances, I'm afraid.
Siegfried.
Oh, my dear Helen, nobody's more anxious for his recovery than I am, but I think facts should be faced. And after all, the poor, wretched little creature's practically moribund. I just don't want you to be upset if we lose him.
Well, I shall be, so there.
Yes, of course. I put things badly. We all hope for the best, but I think we should be prepared for the worst. I know you, Helen. Don't think I don't. You're a terrible old softy, really, just like that husband of yours. If Tricky dies, you're going to blame yourself, and I don't want you to. In fact, I won't have it. What have you got him on?
I've got him on water and glucose every 2 hours, and when he gets a little bit better, I shall put him onto calf's foot, James.
That's very good. I can't improve on that.
Mr. Gilling phoned his gypsy...
How is he? I haven't seen him in months.
Well, I saw him the other day. He's fine.
Oh, is he good? He's a super old boy. He's kind to animals and children, which is a rare enough combination in these parts. What's his trouble?
His gypsy's daughter has a donkey foal 4 or 5 months old. Well, apparently
Oh, yes. Well,
apparently it's twitching rather badly and reacts nervously to the slightest noise.
Well, one of us should go and give it a look.
shouldn't we wait until he asks us?
Yes, that was crossing my mind, James. I don't want to hurt his pride. The poor people, the mites. They wouldn't call us in. Well, they thought their own remedies might work. On the other hand, if they thought you just happened to be passing, yes, you insist and go ahead. But, be discreet.
Like to have a look, Tris?
Yeah.
See anything?
Third eyelid comes across. Steady now.
How's he eating, Mr. Might?
It's hard to judge. We haven't weaned him yet, mister.
He hasn't injured himself recently, has he? On barbed wire or anything?
Picked up a nail in his near hind a month ago.
Oh, what did you do?
Took it out, didn't I?
Yes, but have you been treating it in any way?
Yeah, it were only a little wound. No blood to speak of. I sealed it with Stockholm tar. It was lame for a few days, but it soon passed.
Oh. Well, I'll have a look. Lend me a hoof knife, please, Tris. Thanks. The tar's still there? Oh, thanks. Good. Thank you. I can see where the nail went in. Would you cut the wound for me, please, Tris?
Right, you are.
Well, Mr. Harriet?
I think it's tetanus, Mr. Guinea.
Is that bad, mister?
Well, if I'm right, Mr. Mark, yes, it is bad.
I don't know the name.
It's like blood poison, Jess.
You cut yourself?
No, it's just a nick.
Is that used for anything, Mr. Guinea?
Well, I let them use it for the ponies in bad weather.
Let's take a look, eh?
Oh, thank you.
Aye, well, there you are.
Oh, yes. Oh, this'll be fine. Do you think you can get some bales of straw sent over?
Oh, I'll see to that for you.
Good. That's fine, Tris. Good. All right, Mr. Might, we'll get him into the barn. Okay? Thank you. Come on, let's go. Right, that's the anti-serum. And we'll give him a sedative. In fact, he's going to need sedating at least twice a day. He must be kept absolutely quiet. There's no shouting, no clanking of buckets. A violent response to sudden noises is one of the symptoms we have to watch for. You notice he didn't even like it when the baby cried.
Here we are, lad.
Ah, over here, please. Thank you. Just squeeze a bell. Just down on the side now. Very, very gently. Thanks. That's it, good. That's the idea.
What's that for?
To keep him propped up. He mustn't be allowed to get down.
Can his mother still feed him?
No, to try and keep him on gruel. That's about all we can do for the moment. Got the sedative, Tris?
Yes.
Right. Would you give it to him, please? And someone will call round tomorrow and give him another shot. Margie? Come on, you must be a brave girl. Look, I know you love him, and we'll do everything we can to make sure he gets better.
Marvellous beef, Helen.
Thank you.
Should be enforced by law. If I had my way, I wouldn't treat a horse that hadn't been immunised.
Well, that'd be the ideal thing, but I can't see it happening. Not in the foreseeable future.
Why on earth not, James?
Well, ignorance, apathy. And I suppose 1 person in 1,000 recognises the dangers. After all, they are pretty remote.
Not good enough, James. If an avoidable risk to human life exists, it should be eliminated.
How?
Well, simply by educating the public. I mean, everybody takes vaccination for smallpox for granted,
Oh,
no?
come off it, Siegfried. It's not the same thing at all. You're never going to get an epidemic of tetanus.
Possibly. But individual risk does remain. So we find an urge you to talk. Just and as vets, we're protected, and we get our Anti-tetanus injections is a matter of course. But take this fellow, Myatt, for example. Oh, he might have cut that wound out himself, nicked himself, just as you did. And he wouldn't have given it another thought because he was ignorant of the consequences, or the chances are he'd be dead in a month.
Oh, Lord.
Well, it's perfectly
What's
true.
wrong, Tris?
How long do they last?
What last?
Inoculations.
When did you have your last one?
I've never had one.
Get your coat, there's a good fellow.
Where are we going?
See Dr. Allinson straight away.
He's odd, isn't he? Who? My brother. You have to agree, James, he can be an absolute swine when it suits him. But take the other night. I don't mind admitting the whole business had me a bit groggy for a moment. I also expected Siegfried to rip my liver out on the spot. Not a bit of it. I think what I'm trying to say is, when the chips really are down, he, how shall I say, emerges rather well.
You only just realised that?
I suppose not. It's really the nature of the beast. He does rather tend to make one dwell upon the more alarming aspects of his character, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there's some truth in that, I suppose. Anyway, how was the injection? No after effects?
Not so far, no.
10 a.m. precisely. Mrs. Pumphrey, you can set your watch by her these days. Look, you wouldn't give her the morning bulletin, would you?
Oh,
thank you.
What should I tell her?
Oh, no cause for alarm, patient maintaining strength, sign that he's responding to treatment. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you. Oh, and Tris,
yes?
If you could suggest tactfully that you needn't come running around here 3 times a day, I think Helen might be grateful.
Right, you are.
Thank you. What's the news?
Not good, James, I'm afraid. Not good at all. Poor little blight has got it.
Lockjaw.
Yeah.
Damn and blast.
Well, of course, it was always on the cards.
Doesn't always come to that.
No, perfectly true. There's one bright spot there. Still has an appetite. And it's never been weaned. I left him sucking gruel through his teeth. That little girl's absolutely marvellous with him. What's her name?
Margie?
Yeah. Wish we could save him, if only for her sake.
Yes.
That's okay.
Thanks, Tris.
Well, things seem a mite slack. Yes.
Never known things so quiet.
I might even get a chance to do a bit of Christmas shopping. Oh,
Thanks, Tris.
Money.
The door. Oh, why does he always lock this door?
Says he's lost the key.
Right. Ah, Siegfried.
yes, my dear.
Will you please explain a mystery to me?
If I can, what's all a mystery?
The room across the hall. The door's locked, the shutter's closed. I've never been inside.
Extraordinary thing, neither have I.
Oh, that one. Oh, there's nothing to explain. No mystery, I'm afraid. It used to be the dining room. As you know, the house came with the practice when I took over. And, of course, in those days, when I was just alone, it was far too big for me. Even now, with all of us here, there's no real need for it. And I shouldn't think Mrs. Hall...
Oh, but I'd love to see inside. Can't we explore?
Dear, I'm the faintest idea where the key is. Now, Helen, I promised you a Christmas to remember. What we want to do is to aim for the true... what's the word I'm looking for? Dickensian jollity. Tell you what we do, we get Borden to lend us his truck. We make an expedition. We scour the countryside for holly, masses of holly. Berries are marvellous this year. That means a hard winter. Did you know that? We cut our own tree, we'll gather mistletoe. We transform this old mausoleum into a bower of Yuletide greenery. Get the setting right, it's halfway to creating the mood.
It never quite works without the snow.
Oh. Then, my dear Tristan, we shall have snow.
All right.
Yeah.
Timber!
Quite a neat job. There you are, Tristan. Haul that on down to the lorry. Come on, boy.
Good. I'll take the sharp end, Tris.
That's it. But for the cab, Tristan.
Yeah, Tris. Right, it's secure this end. Ow!
There you are, my boy.
Where to now?
Gilling's place. We must telephone Helly in case any calls have come in. And we give young Fred his sedative at the same time, James.
He was terribly weak this morning.
Never mind, he's alive, that's the main thing. And every day he wins now improves his chances, you see. Come on. Come on, Christy. Come on, boy. Come here. Come on. Come on. Get in. Good boy. That's it. La, 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 la. Oh. All right. Underneath. I am a full grown of all the trees that are in the woods, the holly bells are strong. The sun, the deer, the rainbow, the river, singing in her barn.
You see what I see?
That's Malak's lorry.
And Wyatt's with him.
Well, hurry, Siegfried.
Get back to your mother.
Where is it, Jess?
In barn, Mr. Mallock.
That fell dead, Mr. Myatt.
Not yet.
Why are you here, Mr. Mallock?
He fetched me.
What do you want with a donkey foal with tetanus, huh?
No, Mr. Farnan. I'm here to put it down. I get paid for the job, that's all.
Yes, I understand. Now, do you mind if I have a look at him first?
Sort yourself, mister, but I'll not change my mind.
Right. On we go. Just Mr. Myers and myself.
Hello, Margie.
All right.
Phil will be okay, you watch.
Well, thanks, Mr. Farnan.
Muscles are loosening. You'll soon be eating normally now. Why are you doing this, Mr. Myatt?
That's my business.
Well, it was our business as well until just now. We put in a lot of work, you know, to try and save this little chap.
Aye, work I can't afford.
I understand. And we still might fail. Will you let me speak frankly to you, Mr. Myatt?
Say what you please.
Well, you have your way of life. And you might say that you and I have very little in common except our interest in animals, but times are hard. You have a wife and family to support. I haven't.
I take charity from no man, mister.
I'm not offering any. But this foal means a great deal to your little girl. I'd like to try and save him if I can for her, not for you.
It's still gonna cost.
Nope.
Then it is charity.
Not in any sense. No, if I succeed, let it be my Christmas present to Margie. Only she's not going to know that, and nobody else is going to know it either. It's just going to be between you and me. Will you let me try?
It's not right.
Pride's a fine thing, Mr. Myatt, in its proper place. Put it in your pocket. Just this once.
Hello, Mrs. Pumphrey.
He's dead, isn't he?
Dead?
My tricky woo.
No, of course he isn't dead. What on earth gave you that idea? No. Helen thinks he's holding his own.
Mr. Harry, you wouldn't lie to me.
Mrs. Pumphrey, I think you better come and sit down. There we are.
Thanks.
Now, you tell me what all this is about.
Well, it was my dream. It was all so vivid. You were kneeling over the body of my poor darling Tricky, and Mr. Farnham was saying that you'd have to go round and tell me, but do you know what you said?
I haven't the faintest idea.
You said you wouldn't. You said you didn't want to spoil my Christmas, so you were going to go on pretending that Tricky was still alive till the holiday was over, and then break the news to me gently.
Good grief.
Well, you do see, it was so like your wonderfully generous and sensitive nature that of course I believed it must be true when I woke up. I nearly rang you up immediately. But I realized, of course, that that would be quite useless.
Will it?
Oh, yes. You can never know if a person is telling a lie, even a white lie, which this would have been, unless you are actually looking into their eyes while they are speaking. Well, you do see that, don't you, Mr. Herring?
James! James! You must look at Tricky. Oh, hello, Mrs. Pumphrey. How marvellous you're here.
What is it, darling?
My darling. Oh, my little
See? Look, James. Look at his tummy.
Great Scott, it's starting to turn pink. Oh, well done, darling. Mrs. Humphrey, he is on the mend.
Oh, my Tricky. My Tricky. Woo. Oh, my darling.
Do you want a cup of tea?
Where is everyone?
Helen's asleep. Siegfried went out about 10 minutes ago. Have a good evening.
Smashing. What a girl, eh? Warmth, spirit, response.
Anyone I know? Sounds great stuff.
Absolutely.
What are you doing?
Looking for a key
Which one?
to that locked front room.
What on earth do you want that for?
Oh, come on now, James. You must have noticed Siegfried when Helen asked. He went all peculiar. I think it's a bit fishy, don't you?
No?
You know, you're not usually so dim. That room is the most important in this house. It's locked. None of us have ever been allowed to see inside, yet the moment Helen makes a perfectly innocuous suggestion, he throws up some feeble excuse and properly changes the subject.
Oh, come on, I thought he was very reasonable. This is a big house, there is plenty of space, that room isn't needed, and he doesn't want to make extra work for Mrs. Hall.
Very plausible.
Tristan, you are doing a very fair impersonation of Bluebeard's wife. What do you expect to find in there? All the heads of Siegfried's old girlfriends?
Now you're talking rot. Nothing like that. I just don't like silly mysteries.
Now, you're being inconsistent. It wasn't silly just now, it was fishy.
Have it your own way. I tell you, if one of these keys fits, I'm down. We're going to have a look.
Now?
What's not now? He's asleep. We're having a job.
Oh, very courageous. Well, I wouldn't like to be in your shoes when he finds out.
Don't be so stuffy. I'm doing nothing underhand. I merely seek to satisfy the healthy curiosity of a normal and intelligent young man. Huh?
I always knew you drank too much, but by God, I didn't think it'd come to this. Sneaking down for a swig in the small hours.
No, you don't understand it.
I think I understand the evidence of my own eyes.
I had this nightmare. It was ghastly. I never drink it.
My dear chaplain, you look a bit shaken. You better sit down. Perhaps I was mistaken. Here, have some more of this. Most of that went on the carpet. Now, hold hard. Try that. No. No more nightmares, old chap. You made enough noise to waken the dead. He's got his temper back anyway, hasn't he? When's he going home?
Well, James and I thought we'd take him back this afternoon, eh?
Huh? I'm not sure you oughtn't to let me do that, Helen.
Why?
No, you're too modest. Too self-effacing, and your husband's too high-principled. I prefer Mrs. Pumphrey to be in no doubt whatsoever
What about?
at the magnitude of your achievement. Yes, this little monster owes his life entirely to you. You've performed a miracle of devoted nursing.
Oh, Siegfried.
These simple facts ought to be made abundantly clear to that lady by a third, shall we say, disinterested party.
Quite right, Mr. Farnham. You never were any good at blowing your own trumpet.
That's the one he loves. Now, on second thoughts, I don't think I will interfere at this point. You and James go ahead. But you must make it plain to Mrs. Pumphrey that Tricky needs just one piece of turkey fat, and she'll have a death at the dinner table. All right?
I'll try.
Mr. Farnham.
Yes, Mrs. Hall.
All that Olean stuff in the hall.
What about it?
Well, there's a right mountain of it I can hardly get round. How am I supposed to do the cleaning?
Don't. We'll decorate tonight. The cleaning can wait. Now, my dears, I'm taking the morning off to do my Christmas shopping. James is out in a couple of rounds. Tristan is on duty here. Now, in my absence, I want you to do me a favour and not to ask any questions.
The whole thing's absurd. It's insane. Probably it. I've gone mad.
Let's get this job done. I've got that amateur coat with you, though.
Helen, Mrs. Hall, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Tris. We've decided to give Siegfried a surprise.
What sort of surprise?
Well, Mrs. Hall's got the key to this room, so we thought we'd open it up and give it a clean.
Oh, you can't do that.
Of course we can. You can give us a hand if you like.
No, but you mustn't.
Why not? It's bad to keep rooms shut up and unused in old houses like this.
Well, that's not what you said the other day.
Ain't it? Oh, well, woman's privilege. Besides, you don't tell me you're not a bit curious like yourself.
Well, of course I am. I mean, we all are. But...
Right.
No. It's a super idea, but I really think you better not.
But why, Tris? Give us one good reason.
Well, I hate to sound like the stuffy younger brother, Helen, but it is his house, and you know Siegfried as well as I do.
So?
Well, I think he might not like it.
Is that all?
Oh, good grief, it's enough, isn't it?
Not that.
Now,
Mrs.
here we
Hall,
go.
You stay
Open
Helen, stay there.
Oh. Now, wait a minute. Here we are.
Oh, it's lovely. Fancy wasting a room like this. And look at these chairs. Do you know, I think they're real Chippendale. Tristan?
Yes?
That was a very good performance outside. Own up. What's it all made of?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Look at all them bottles.
Oh, so that's it. He simply refused to talk. Just made a lot of fatuous excuses. And Siegfried's just as bad. We weren't allowed to ask any questions, just told to do the job and report Brother's reactions.
Well, at least he had something to report. Was he satisfied?
If you mean did he look like a cat that's just got away with a gallon of cream? Yes. Oh, I do hate mysteries. James, are you sure you don't know anything?
Well, only what you know, darling. This is Siegfried's house, and over the years he's been using this room as a sort of cellar to lay down a stock of very fine wines. And for reasons best known to himself, he's chosen this moment to let us into the secret.
Yes, but
and
why?
don't ask me why, because it's Christmas. Or maybe because he knew that once you'd mentioned it, Tristan wouldn't leave it alone till he'd been inside. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I suppose not.
Right, now, you stand over there, darling. All right? I switch on. Ready?
Yes?
Ta-da!
Oh. Now it's really Christmas Eve.
Special delivery!
Uncle
Uncle Harriet and Nurse Helen.
All the way from Fortnum.
Wonder what kind of canine friend can possibly be so generous, eh? Come on, break it up, you two.
You might at least admire the Christmas tree.
It's very, very pretty, my dear, but this is pretty too.
Oh, you're both hopeless.
It's lovely, Helen.
Oh, look at this.
So well done.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's all my favourite things. She is an old darling.
You're in for an old-fashioned Yorkshire Christmas with slightly more than old trimmings.
There is one trimming we've forgotten.
What's that?
What?
Mistletoe.
Oh, how awful. Oh, will you be able to get any now?
Oh, I think we can.
It's for Margie.
Thank you, lady.
That's very kind, lady, but there wasn't any call. Margie's got the present she wanted. Best come and see for yourself.
He's taking it well, isn't he?
Should have cooled nicely by the time we're back from church.
What's this?
That's for you, dear brother. It's not a Christmas present, it's a gift of pure friendship. You can open it now.
What in heaven's name are they?
I got them from Chief Inspector Charles. He had them from a man who won't be needing them anymore. I thought they might come in handy. Who are you?
Yes, but what are they?
Skeleton keys.
You old devil. Where on earth did
Time
you
we're
get that?
going, you know. Where's everybody?
Everybody ready?
Just about. Where's James?
Oh.
Here. Good man. Go on it.
Mrs. Hall!
I'm just coming.
Time we were off, Mrs. Hall.
I'm just coming.
Happy Christmas, darling.
It's not Christmas yet.
Oh, what's a few more minutes here or there? Anyway, we can't very well go into a clinch in the middle of midnight service, can we?
You could always try.
Come on, break it up, you two.
Oh.
I've left a kettle on the stove so we can have a nice hot drink when we get back.
Hot toddy, Mrs. Hall.
I'd have thought a nice hot Christmas cocoa, Mr. Tristan. There'll be enough hot toddies, as you call them, flying about in the next few days.
Oh, my pathetic soul.
Good Lord, it's snowing. And on Christmas Eve. A secret promise.
I say, James. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day to save us all from sin and